Welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast and YouTube channel. This is episode 107 of the How to Start Your Professional Organizing Business series. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk all about branding. And then in the next episode, we're going to talk about marketing and how to get leads. So, for today's episode, your brand is your business's identity. So we need to understand, what is a brand? What do I do to create my brand? And so I want you to listen today, to take notes. And if you have any questions or need more support, you can always go to proorganizerscoach.com to learn more about how I can support you and help you. And if you go into the show notes or the description, then you will see two specials I have for you. One is coming into the group coaching community with our back to school special, where you get a 2-week free trial. And then after that, it's only $33 a month. We do weekly group coaching. We do a monthly workshop that is specifically for you as a professional organizer. But if you are listening to this series because you are just getting started, or you've only done a few pieces of starting your organizing business, then you are going to want to use the other discount code that I have for you. So if you go to proorganizersacademy.com and you use the coupon SAVE50 in all caps, it will give you $50 off either one of my big courses. Now, the first big course is the How to Start Your Professional Organizing Business course. It has every single thing you need. I take you step by step. So if you're wanting to go deeper and learn exactly how to do these things, then that's the course for you. If you've already done the majority of the stuff and you feel like you've got the business stuff pretty good in starting your business, but you've not created your website yet, then you can also use that coupon to get $50 off the How to Create a Website That Converts in 5 days. It's specifically built for you as a professional organizer. It comes with a Squarespace template. You get 6 months of a trial, so you get plenty of time instead of just the 2 weeks Squarespace normally gives you. There's so many benefits, but go to proorganizersacademy.com. There's videos there that will show you each of the courses, what are in them, and so that way you can learn more about how I can support you. So you don't have to take as long as I did starting your business. You can streamline this part of the process and then have support and encouragement moving forward with our group coaching community and sisterhood. It is something that I am so proud of that I have built, because it was something I did not have when I was starting my business, and it was very lonely. So I'm so proud to be able to have the POC group coaching community and to offer it to you with our back to school special as a thank you for being a listener and for just being amazing, because you rock and you are on the path that you are meant to be on. And so for you doing this for yourself and for you trusting that you know you're meant to start an organizing business, I want to be able to help you get those steps, get them done faster, and get you working with clients. All right, let's talk about branding. So, again, your brand is your business's identity. It's what sets you apart. It's what people say about you and your business when you're not in the room. It's the impression that you leave with them. And it involves everything from your font colors to your logo to your website to your social media stuff to your messaging that you write on things. Anytime that someone interacts with your business, even for me, I have the wording on my vehicle that has the information about my business. Well, if I'm driving down the road and their experience of me is that I cut them off in traffic or some, slam on my brakes and they almost hit me, and that's how they see my information on the back of my vehicle, well, then that's not helping my brand, right? So it's everything that we do in our business that helps others have an impression of us. So, and you want to create a memorable and cohesive brand for your organizing business. You don't want it to be where, sometimes they see your stuff and it's like this one color and then it's this other color, and then sometimes you're talking to moms and then other times you're talking to children, and then other times you're talking to teachers, and then other, like, you want it to feel cohesive to where you're at least talking about the same topics and to the same person. And there's so many layers to this. But by the end of this episode, you'll know how to build a brand that reflects your values and attracts your ideal clients, which also, after this series, when I start getting into the mission-driven business framework I'm creating on how to help you find your passion, your purpose, get you on a path that has you on a mission to help the right clients based on who you are called to be and who God created you to be and the gifts that you have inside of you. Once we put all of those pieces together, the rest of the branding falls into place, because then every time you go to create anything, you know who you're talking to, you know what you need to say to them. And so make sure to subscribe, to turn on the notification bell, to follow me with the podcast platform that you're on, so you get notified with the podcast or the YouTube channel when these new episodes come out after this series, so we can dive deep into figuring out who you are called to be and what your God-given gifts are. Okay? All right. So, branding. Technically, what is branding? And like I just said, branding is your business's identity. It's how clients perceive you. From the business name to the logo to your messaging, your overall vibe, branding is all about creating a lasting impression. And in my opinion, branding is also about the impression you leave with them in their mind and in their heart. Are you speaking to them directly? Do they feel what you are saying to them when they connect or they see any of your website, your social media, your Google page, all of it? Do they connect and say, "Man, that's my person. She is who I need to have help me"? So, let's get into the 5 tips for branding your professional organizing business. So, we're going to start with number 1. You have to, before you can do anything, you need to define your brand identity. Now, you want to start by outlining your core values, your mission, and your vision of your business. What do you stand for? What's your ultimate goal? Those are some things you need to be thinking about. And if you need to pause me and journal on those and then hit play again, by all means, please do so, because I want you to be able to know and to look back on these and to know exactly who you're talking to. And in the future, if you need to be reminded, you can always come back to those notes. And then that way you have them moving forward when you create a piece of content, or you're doing your website, or you're doing anything. You can ask yourself, does this align with my mission, with my values, and with my vision for my business? Because then it makes things an easy yes or an easy no. All right. The key benefit to defining your brand identity is that your brand identity serves as the foundation for all of your branding efforts, guiding how you present yourself to your audience. Again, making it an easy yes or a no. So, a little tip for this number 1 is think about how you want your clients to feel after working with you. Use that feeling as the basis for your brand. So, how do you want clients to feel when they get done working with you? And then use that as the basis for your messaging. Use that as the basis for maybe the colors that you choose, the logo, because you want it all to help them feel the way that you want them to feel after they get done working with you. All right, number 2, you want to create a memorable business name and logo. Now, if you have not created your business name, I do have a mini course at proorganizersacademy.com. It's only $27 and it will walk you through the steps of creating your business's name, making sure that it works for you, that it's available because you don't want to take someone else's name. And then there's also the podcast episode that I just created, episode 102 in this series that we're in, that you could go back to and listen to as well on creating a business name for your business. All right, the action step. You want to choose a business name that's easy to remember and clearly communicates what you do. You do not want to name your business something like repurpose, reuse, and recycle if you don't want to help people repurpose, reuse, and recycle, right? Like, you want to make sure that it makes sense for what you are creating, your vision for the future of your business, and for the vision that you have of the clients that you're going to be working with and how you're going to be helping them. Now, then you also want to make sure to create a logo, which you can go on Canva and create a logo on there, and you can actually make it super simple. It does not have to be crazy, extravagant. You can always change it later. A key benefit to this is that a strong business name and logo make you instantly recognizable, which helps to build trust and recall with potential clients. And then a little tip is you want to make sure your logo works across different platforms, whether it's on business cards, your website, or social media. You just want to kind of keep it simple, in my opinion, but you could go as extravagant as you want. But take just a little bit of time to make sure that especially the name, and then just a little bit of time on the logo. Make sure it's something that you're happy with. If you're struggling with the logo piece, you can always go on Etsy and find a quick logo that you like, or a logo designer that wouldn't be extremely expensive, that can help you create a logo for your business and your brand. All right. Number 3, you want to establish a consistent brand voice. The action step is decide how you want to communicate with your audience, whether your tone is casual and friendly, or is it more formal? And whatever it is, you want to keep it consistent across all platforms. The key benefit in establishing a consistent brand voice is how you speak to client makes your brand feel professional and dependable, even if you're known for being like super fun Sally, or um crazy casual Cassie, or something, like, not literally, but like that's the vibe you're giving. Even if it is casual, or if it's fun, or if it's like the people you see, they're like, oh, here's these Dollar Tree hacks, like that kind of vibe of like, keeping it to where you don't have to spend much money with the products, or whatever it is. You just want to make sure that everything you do makes sense. You wouldn't want a name and a logo that seem extremely extravagant and elegant, and then all of a sudden your messaging is like, hey y'all, come call us and we'll come help you. Or, like, you wouldn't want it to be extremely formal and then extremely like Southern and low key, and like, it doesn't mesh well. So the point is, and the best way to do this is just by being you and knowing that who you are and who God's created you to be is good. It's great. You are a masterpiece. And so if you will take who you are and be authentic to yourself as you are creating stuff for your business, instead of trying to be who you think you should be to be professional, or what you've seen other people do, if you'll be authentic to yourself and authentic in your mission to help others, then that's going to make the very best consistent brand voice and brand overall for your business. People can feel when we're being authentic, and they can feel when we're being fake. All right. Number 4, develop a strong online presence. Now, I did want to make sure to mention, you did not hear me just say only social media. Develop a strong social media presence. That's not what I said. Develop a strong online presence. So, let's talk about what is an online presence, right? So, it's anywhere you're showing up online. It is your website, it's your Google profile, it's your Find My Organizer profile, it is your social media profiles, of course. It is anywhere that you're going to show up online. You want to make sure that it is authentically you, that it has some kind of cohesiveness to it. And again, the best way to do that is by being you. Now, in the beginning, it's hard to know who we are a lot of the times, and especially when we start thinking about business, which is why if you stick around here or if you go purchase the course, either one of those, I'm going to help you do that. But just know that when you start doubting, like, oh, does this go with my brand? Or, you don't have to overthink it. Trust yourself, pray about it, and then go with it. You can always pivot later. Do not let this stop you. I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that you do have a brand presence and a brand identity when you create a business because of the world we live in. So you have how they interact with you in person, you have your online stuff, you have all of the different pieces of your business. And so you want to make sure that the strong online presence matches everything else. And again, it's by being authentically you. You are enough. But you also wouldn't want it to be every single color of the rainbow unless that's what you're going for. But a lot of times it's better to just kind of stick with like a few main colors and then a few other colors that kind of complement it. And that's always been the hardest part for me, are finding brand palettes that I like. And so a quick little tip is you could also go on Etsy and find a brand palette to give you your hex codes and the colors that you would like to use based on the feeling that you want your clients to have when they interact with your brand. And then those are the colors that you mainly use when you're doing online stuff. But then again, it's not just the colors, it's not just the fonts, but it's also the messaging, making sure that your messaging aligns with your brand's identity, okay? And your business's identity. But a cohesive online presence builds trust with potential clients and makes you look professional. Now, tip, make sure your website is easy to navigate and includes a clear call to action, such as booking your consultation or signing up for your freebie, which if you're not at that place yet, that's okay. You will get there. But definitely make sure that it has that clear, easy button of book a consultation. It takes them to the form. Or if you've set up Calendly, for free, because you get one event on Calendly for free, then you could always set that up to schedule the phone call. But for me, it's always been easier just to have them fill out a form on the website. It gets emailed to me, which I completely show you how to do all of this in the website course that I have. It actually is already kind of built into it because that's what I created the template to do, is to work for you in a professional organizing business. All right, now, number 5 is build a cohesive brand experience. So you want to ensure that every client interaction, from your website to the in-person meetings, like I said a minute ago, to the online presence, to if you have it on your car and you're driving down the road, or you're in a store talking with someone, or you are at a networking event, or you're creating a post for social. It doesn't really matter. You want it to all feel cohesive, reflect back to your brand values, and creates a positive experience. And again, if you go back to number one and you think about how do you want your clients to feel? What do you want them to feel after they've worked with you and after they've interacted with you? And you partner that with who you authentically are. Once you partner those two pieces together, who you authentically are and how you want your clients to feel after working with you, then your brand is going to create itself. You just have to fill in a few of the other little pieces, like the fun stuff, like the colors and the fonts and those kinds of things, the logo. But the more you can be authentically you and you can give them that experience, again, that's what they're going to feel. And that's going to make you stand out and look professional. So, a key benefit is a cohesive experience ensures that clients remember your brand and are more likely to refer you to others. And then a tip is if you use client feedback to continuously improve the experience and keep your branding fresh and relevant. It also means that you can always pivot. Just start with something, know that it's enough, and keep moving forward. And then from there, you can always pivot later, or once you get a little more, zoned in on who you work with and how you like to work and what you're about, then you can always change the colors, change all the whatever later. But for the moment, go with your gut, pray about it, ask God for guidance, go get one of my courses, or at least come join us in the group coaching community so I can support you. And that way you are not doing this alone. Okay. So, recap. Today we discussed the 5 key branding tips: defining your brand identity, creating a memorable business name and logo, establishing a consistent brand voice, developing a strong online presence, and then building a cohesive brand experience. That is how you are going to brand your business correctly. And that is how you are going to stand out in your community and have clients that are happy they chose to work with you. And it's going to have them choosing you when they decide that they are ready and need a professional organizer. So, again, your call to action for this episode is to make sure to check out the links in the show notes below. If you've not subscribed, make sure to do that. And on the podcast, if you have not left me a 5-star review on whatever platform that you listen on, if you've gotten any value out of anything that I have done in the last over 100 episodes now, would you please go do that for me? It helps me know that what I'm doing is helping you, and that is what I'm after. And so if you could go do that, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate you so much. And then again, come join us in the group coaching community. Use those discount codes while they're available. And let's get your business off the ground. Let me take you step by step and support you. I cannot wait to meet you. And then make sure to come back for the next episode on marketing and how to get leads.